Hi, this is Bruce, Blue Sky Video Productions, YouTube strategist. We're here for another week of BSVP On-Site. And actually, we're still doing virtual, but it enables us to get more guests from further away, because usually for on-site in Chicago, I'm limited to talking to people one-to-one in Chicago. So we're talking to someone out in California, and her name is Kellen Hardie Fisher, and she has been working for another company for a while. She's got a great history in background. We'll talk about that as well. But we're talking about turning your passion into profit. And so this week our guest is Kellen Hardie Fisher, and welcome, Kelly.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Bruce.
Welcome. So, introduction is basically you've got a full-time job, but you've also got a passion for something else that you've always wanted to do. And this is probably the best time to do it, is because you're at home more often. Are you?
Well, I work from home anyway. I work remotely anyway, so it worked.
Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about your background, because a lot of what your background kind of works into what you're doing now. You were a sports star in school, and you're basketball. So you must be what, 6'3", 6'4"?
I was 6'3", but now I'm 5'5".
Okay.
I've been shrinking as I got older.
Without heels, right?
Right.
So then, anyway, so let's talk about some of your background, and because starting your own business takes more than just a desire to do what you're doing. If you like baking, starting a baking company takes more than just knowing how to bake cakes.
I'm finding that out. There are a lot of logistics that I didn't even think about when I started this. And every day I'm like, oh, add that to the list, add that to the list.
And so where'd you get help, or where'd you find help?
For this current business is through we have a Facebook group that you and I are both members of. And in that group was teachings and lessons. And in that, I redefined my philosophy of myself and for what I wanted to contribute. And that's where the mind shift came, where I thought, I love what I'm doing, but I really, really want to do this. And then that's how I started my new business.
And so what is the new business? So again, you've got a background. Let's talk a little bit about that before you talk about it.
Okay.
You've got a background in advertising. You've got a background in printing.
Commercial real estate.
Commercial real estate. Do you have a background in design?
Not a formal background. I trained myself when I worked at the newspaper. I took a graphic design job without even knowing how to run the programs. But I promised the guy that hired me, Gary, I said, I promise I'll know the program by the time I start next week. And I did. And then some of my ad designs won national awards. So it was kind of cool.
And so let's talk about a little bit about your business. So you've got design is basically business card. It's actually thank you notes, right? But they're customized.
Paper art is what I'm calling it. It's a paper art boutique, because I do the notes, the thank yous and whatever, but I also have kind of splintered off, and I make signage because of the COVID and the 2020 class wasn't allowed to have their graduation. So I made signs for all the seniors, and we passed those out, and people could hang them in their windows. And then I did a lot for the basketball team, but this was all just fun and hobby, and it just turned into the paper arts.
So let's take a look real quick at some of the stuff that you do, because it's actually more than just printing on a flat piece of right. a board. There's actually like a 3D element to it.
Right. I wanted to make it dimensional, and I love sparkle. So anywhere I can put sparkle, I will add sparkle.
I think it's what's called glitter, or what's it called?
Well, it's glitter cardstock is what I'm mainly using.
There we go. So that's what
There we go.
it kind of looks like.
Yeah, so the rectangle diamond or the diamond shaped ones are actually graduation cap toppers, and I guess the graduates wear them on the top of their hat to show what college they've been accepted to or that they're committed to. And I did that for 2 weekends straight, making them for people. They just said, "Oh, can you do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then the bottom picture where it says Coach Sopak, those were place settings for the varsity basketball banquet. And I made one for each player and their family, and it's a hardwood piece. It's a piece of hardwood, just like the basketball court. And then I just did the varsity lettering and put everybody's name and number on it. And they love that. They love that.
So you're working with a multiple of platforms or materials, just kind of customizing it to the end user, right?
Right. Like some of my cards will use the glitter stock, but I have another card I'm working on a design, and it's got some like wood laminate is on it that I'm cutting to use as part of a logo.
And then you're also working with businesses.
Yeah.
See, these are some of the people you've been networking with lately, who are not only supporting you but encouraging you as well. There's one there with a big G on it, which kind of brings us to the beginning of your story as well. We keep on going back to the beginning of your story. So, and then also that one, the TR. Actually, I got that from you after I was on your show. So what's this G with a crown on top of it?
That is a card that kind of started everything. I ordered some items from Jeffrey Gittimer, and when they came in the mail, Jen had handwritten a thank you on it. And I thought, how cool is that? It was nice to, your order is, thank you for your order. And I thought, I'm going to make her something really nice to send out in her orders. So I made that card, and the saying that they thank with love and gratitude were words from her mouth when we were chatting online back and forth. And she goes, I have every order I give thanks and gratitude. And I thought that was really, I like that. And so I made that card for her, and she just loved it. And then the BAM card is for my buddy Eric, and because he's just the BAM man. And I had to make something like superpower, like superhero for him, because he's like my little superhero.
But also some of these are you hand cut these as well as use a cutter, a predetermined design or software that cuts the characters.
Yeah, I can. And then right now I'm starting to do like custom designs. And so I can either draw it. I'm old fashioned. I still draw on paper, and then I can scan it, and then I put it into Illustrator or Photoshop, and then I manipulate it, and then I can bring it into that program and then cut it into the shapes and the colors that I want for the card.
So how much of your background did you have before going into your business, and how much are you learning as you start your business?
I've always had a creative component to any business that I've had, even the commercial real estate. But with this, there's so many logistics, and times are so different, from 15, 20 years ago, well, a week ago. And I'm like I'm going to have to force myself to, embrace the social media more. I'll have to do the Facebook, the Instagram, Twitter, and then I think you're going to show me how to do the live stream thing.
Always here to help.
Yeah, I need it. And then there's business licensing, and then there's trademarking and accounting. I had to hire somebody for that, because, when you're creative, 9 times out of 10, you're not good with bookkeeping. So, you got to let the professionals do what they do best so that you can focus on what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's what brought, when I first started my business, my grandfather had his own accounting agency. My father was a CPA. And so basically when I started my business, the times I would relax is the times I do all the bookkeeping. And then you go out and do all the video production, all the editing, and then you just do the paperwork as a relaxation.
Yeah, no relaxing for me. It's just stressful. I mean, I remember the first time I tried to balance my checkbook. I was in my bedroom floor. I was living at home. Obviously, it was just before college, and I'm like just doing this and crying. And my mom comes in. What's wrong? And I go, I don't know what to do. So she had to show me how to do it. And I thought, oh my gosh, when I make enough money, I'm hiring someone to do this.
Yeah, a lot of people, and even in business still, it's like, okay, well, unless the bank is calling me, I've got money in my account.
Oh, you can't think that way. No, you can't do it. That's not going to work. Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of little details that I hadn't planned for, but actually with our group, I'm like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, and it's a great accountability group too, because they keep me on task, and I do have a tendency, squirrel, to go out. I have that tendency,
I do that as well.
And it's nice to have someone keep me on track.
And I think that's also what's real important is when you start your own business, you're not actually a self-made woman, self-made man. You rely on people who've been there before, who can guide you. I know you've got a great coach in Jennifer Gittimer, who is helping you along the way, not only influence you to take the step, but also to do more.
Right. And you know, the fear thing, you know, you always have this fear of stepping outside the box. I mean, I've spent my whole life outside the box, but this is an even farther step. And I feel like I'm doing it with confidence, and that's what's helping me. I think that's why I'm gonna be so successful, because it's, you know, I know I have a very good product, and I stand behind it, and there's heart and soul in every design. And I just love what I'm doing. I mean, even if I'm up till 2 a.m, cutting and pasting and designing, I've got this smile on my face. And I can't say that I've ever had that with any other job or career.
So you're working what, 9 to 5, 9 to 6 during the daytime, and then 6 to midnight, 6 to 1,
2, 3. It depends on, and you know, the creative part too is like, you don't just turn on creativity. It's not like I'm going to be creative from 3 to 4 today, and then I'm going to do analytical work, and then I'm going to be creative from 7. I mean, sometimes like I'll wake up at 3 a.m, and you know, I've got sketchbooks and notepads by my bed, so I don't forget things. But you know, I never know when you know, something's gonna pop in.
Well, we had a program this morning. We were on a coffee chat this morning, and they're talking about comedy. And the comedy is almost the same way. Where comedy, you don't know where your next comic stories can come from.
Mm-hmm. No, and they're everywhere. I mean, like when he was talking, remember Pat? He was talking about going to the airport and listening to conversations. I mean, I actually followed people one time because the conversation was just so unbelievable that I had to hear the end of it. And, you know, I did almost miss my flight, but, you know, it all worked out.
But you got the story.
Yeah, but if I would have been if I'd have been a comedian, it would have been a great act.
We can tell the next dinner party.
Yeah. If we ever get to have one again.
Virtually. So, yeah. So, what other guidance have you gotten along the way? Or actually, I'll go with that question.
Well, it's a lot of lessons. It's like I'm always learning. I've had to learn about lighting for video. I've had to learn how to, actually, my daughter had to give me a tutorial on makeup because I never wore makeup. And she says, Mom, you have to wear makeup. And I'm like, okay. So I had to get a tutorial on that. I've had, we've been learning about, you know, personalizing videos and putting them in our emails through Hippo Video. And, you know, I've learned how to write scripts now, because some of the stuff I just do off the cuff, but some of it I have a direct message and I have limited time. So, you know, I have to really carefully plan that out. And then time management has become a must. And I do not have a good planning. I don't have a planner. I have like a piece of paper with scribbles all over it. And I did make that one of my goals for this week, is to actually find something that I can write my tasks and because I'm really bad at that.
I think everybody has. I think you can't really manage time. You have
Right.
to manage. You have to prioritize your time,
Mm-hmm.
and
We have to prioritize it in a way that you're not putting out fires. Because if you're spending all your time putting out fires, you're not moving forward. You're just stagnant.
yeah, I think that we're talking about the other box. There's that urgent and important, urgent, not important, not urgent but important, or not important but urgent.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your fires, and then not urgent and not important, and that is your waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
But also it's a downtime. Well, actually, I would put relaxing and being your downtime in the not urgent but important, because
I would
know
agree.
because you can't work 24 hours a day.
Mm-mm.
You can work 22 hours a day.
Yeah. But that's not sustainable either. I mean, you have to rest your body, you have to rest your mind. Yeah, and even eating right. I thought, I need to eat healthier, and I just had a knee surgery, and I'm recovering from that, and I'm like, I can't wait to exercise again. I didn't realize how much I had missed exercising, and that's another way to pump up the creativity, because you get those endorphins going, and you're like, wow, I got another idea.
Yep. Going for a walk. I think I've just got an Apple Watch last Christmas, and I hadn't worn a watch for like 6 years since I first got the iPhone. It's like, oh, yeah, I've got a pocket watch. It's called an iPhone, and then my wife got me an Apple Watch because she had one, and I think I think I can use it, and I've been using it for primarily for my exercise routine.
Mm-hmm.
And although I went for a 30-minute walk, and my watch said I exercised for 3 minutes, and it's like, okay, is there a way to hack this to tell it what I actually did?
Right. Yeah, I don't trust technology completely yet.
And that's why I use paper, right?
Yeah, paper, it's always there.
Why you're so much in love with paper. So we've got some people watching. We've got some guests. If you have questions, you can definitely ask any questions. We don't want to ignore you. We are very grateful that you're here. So yeah, if you've got any questions at all for either myself or especially for Kellen about starting a business, any stories about you in working with the business, any inspiration, any businesses that you want to start that you think would be a good side hustle. And I think that side hustle is more of a Gen X type term. The greatest generation, which is we our parents, they would probably call it a side job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, whatever it is, I love it, and I'm looking forward to transitioning, hopefully.
Okay. So we got. Yeah, I want to say hi to our guests so far. I see Barry, JR, yep, and Alan.
Oh,
Alan, who's come in and totally branded himself. And again, that is something that some people have done, is they brand themselves as their name, and others brand themselves as their company. Basically, the reason I branded myself as BSVPTV or BSVP is because up until I was maybe like 15, 16 years old, I had trouble pronouncing Bruce Himmelblau. And it's a lot easier for people to say Blue Sky Video or BSVP.
Mm-hmm.
But Kellen Fisher, that's an easy name. What have you?
No. In 5th grade, my teacher actually called me to the front of the room and asked me if I was sure I spelled my name correctly.
As opposed to an H or a
Helen.
K.
Yeah,
Helen. The difference between an H and a K. Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, I'm in 5th grade. I think I know my name. Sorry to interrupt.
So you've branded yourself as Brilliance as opposed to Brilliant?
As opposed to mediocre.
There you go.
Do you have a plan or timeline when you want to flip paper art? Well, the way it's going is it may be happening sooner than I planned. I was thinking like a 6-month thing, but I mean, I've already got orders for over 1,000 cards, and it's just been word of mouth right now. And, and I've only been like working at this for 2 weeks now. So I'm very grateful for that. And yes, I don't know. And I feel a loyalty to my company as well, because I can't just leave them high and dry. So I need to figure out an exit plan that will help them succeed with all the building that I've done for them, and then, allow me to do this.
And then looking into helping, can you actually outsource any of this, or are you doing it 100% yourself?
It's 100% myself. And that's one of the things that Jennifer's going to be helping me with, because she wants me to, ramp this up and, do larger quantities. And I'm still emotionally connected to each piece of paper. So I know that with her guidance, I'll listen to whatever she tells me to do, because, she knows what she's doing. And so yeah, at this point, I just do it myself because I love it. And I don't know if I trust anybody to put as much care into it, and detail, and I'm really picky. So,
I was just watching a stream yesterday where the company, the face of the company, had hired someone as an assistant to go through all of his email and respond to it, because he was spending his time working on the business, not in the business, which is a key phrase. And then he also had that issue of, can I let go of this piece of work or this activity? But if you hire the right person, or bring the person in correctly, if you train them well, or if you get personality that works and clicks, it's easy to hand off.
Yeah, I will get there. I know. I may make my daughter do it for free for a while.
There you go. Brilliance and daughter.
Yes. Brilliance plus one.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been so fun. And like I said, I haven't smiled this much in a long time.
So also we talked about organization of your company, and whether you structure it as a doing business as, which is not really protected, LLC Corp or an S Corp, or even a nonprofit, because you have a portion of your organization that deals in nonprofit.
Right. I'm donating a portion of the proceeds to my nonprofit that rescues senior pugs. And I have, it's called Daisy Senior Paw Connection. And that website is being redone with my Brilliance website. So they'll be launched soon. So and I have a new pug that's 15 years old and needs a home. So if you guys know anybody, let me know.
And they don't have to live in San Francisco?
No, I actually went to Arizona once, and there was a puppy mill, and they gave me 6 of them to place. And they weren't the puppies, they were the older dogs, that the breeders, and just the worn out poor babies. So I went, picked them up and brought them here and gave them really nice homes.
So Barry has a comment about making your daughter work for no pay, but
you don't have a 17-year-old, do you?
Yeah, because I used to work in my grandfather's tailor shop, and although I think he did pay me, he brought me lunch every day. But of course, he fed me no matter what, every time I went over there, even on the days I didn't work. So here's another question: what is your capacity right now, and how many cards a day, week, or month?
Right now, I'm doing 50 a day, because that's keeping orders filled and still allowing me to get sleep. And like I said, I haven't pushed any real hard advertising yet, because I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous about, getting too big and then not being able to, and then getting a bad reputation because I can't fill orders.
Yeah, maintaining the quality.
Right. But like I said, I think Jennifer's going to help me with all that logistic stuff so that I can just be my creative self.
There you go. So right now you don't really have a website. Do you have, and you haven't really set up a Facebook page yet.
No, I'm like the worst. I like this is like, oh, she's flunking business. but I'm being strategic in timing. Like once the website's done and I have place to drive people, then I'm just gonna do a massive blowout on all the social medias and make it happen.
And then you've got a great community who help support you
Mm-hmm.
and promote you and hire
They
you.
become friends. They're not even just like group members, or they're friends now, and I'm just so happy and lucky.
And then one thing about your pricing. So you're not really a cut rate 99-cent card shop,
No.
because everything is customized.
See, that's what I talked to Ron Goodwin, because he's been in business a long time and he's successful. And we were just talking one day, and I said, I sent these cards to Jennifer and she really liked them. And he goes, why don't you sell them? I said, because nobody will pay that much for a card. And then he said, you're not selling to the right people. And he's right. I go, once I shifted my targets, they'll pay for it because it's the quality. Because if you order one card and then you order 50, one card is easier than 50. So, a price, it's more work for me. So it's like, I can't charge less for more work. That's a bad business model. So, but I think they're fair. I think they're fairly priced. I mean, I price them by intricacy of the cut and pieces. Like the Ron Goodman card that you saw, Goodwin is like 9 pieces. It's like, that was the most difficult card I've designed so far.
And so I guess that's part of your training, is to streamline the process, because with a video production, if we produce one video, then we can make multiple copies of that one video.
Right.
And making the copy is the easy part. So but you've got the die cutter, you've got the machinery, which all you need to do is set up an automated system where you just all the work goes into the original creative, and then you streamline it for the because making one pancake is a lot of work, because you got to do all the batter and all the stuff and just do one pancake and then you're done. But if you do 30 pancakes, you've already got the batter. It's just go batter.
Right. So, and I'm almost to the point where I need to buy another machine, because then I can have 2 of them going, and then I can do the cutting during the day while I'm I'm selling for my day job, and just letting those run, and then I put them together at nighttime.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So best of luck.
Thank you.
It sounds like you're going to be taking off. Everybody should be looking forward to this. And again, we really didn't get into the thank you note story, because I do believe in writing thank you notes, especially to clients. I don't do it. I've got a box of thank you notes that are still blank.
I'll be sending you a new box.
Because I've got a box of thank you notes that are blank, and I've got the stamps on the envelopes that go along with those. Now, the hard part is actually writing the thank you notes and sending them out, because I don't spend my time doing that. But if you think we have a comment from Kara, take orders, we'll figure out. We took orders, I guess with her business, they took orders bigger than they could handle and figured it out. So basically it's saying, yes, we can do that, and then figuring out how to get it done. Never scoop on quality. So
I actually, for over 6 years now, every Monday I write a note saying I call it my Grateful Monday, and I pick out a person and I mail them a note. Actually finally created a card for that. See? Great Monday. So Gratitude Monday. Maybe one of you guys will be getting one soon.
And again, you've got the addresses for all your clients, so you can send them to them.
Right.
And you've got a great idea already where you've sent out cards already to some of your best clients, welcoming them back to work. So
Right.
when they get back to work, there's something there for them.
Well, that, and I'm top of mind. You know, it wasn't a message on their voicemail, and it wasn't an email. It was, and I don't care what you say, the handwritten note, there is nothing more powerful than that. Because I get thank yous from, like when I send a note, I'll get a thank you, an email, thank you for the handwritten note. That was so nice. It's like, you're thanking me for a thank you. So
I think that's nice. I guess there'll be a point where you thank you for the thank you note and a handwritten note.
well, Emily Post says you don't thank someone for a thank you, but
Okay.
does anybody even know who Emily Post is anymore?
I do. Of course, I'm not old. I'm a historian. So.
Oh, I'm just old.
Yeah, I always talk about old movies and old TV stars, and people's like, who is that? Although some of these people died before I was even born, so the fact that I know who they are is because I'm a historian and I'm not old.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that.
I'll go with that. It's my line. I'm 30 and I'm 39 and sticking to that. And if you get that reference, then you're old too. Because it was a TV star who used to use that line.
There's Gus. Gus is awake.
Well, great. This has been a great conversation. Again, look for Brilliance. Find you on Facebook.
Or I'll find you.
Or we'll find you. Because we've got an international audience here as well.
Yes. Well, thanks, Bruce. I appreciate you letting me tell my story, and I'm thankful to everybody who came and, gave us some messages. I can't wait to get everything like really going.
Yeah, I think it's a great inspiration. Turning your passion into a business, and that way, the saying goes, if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life, because it's such a passion that you enjoy doing it and you're not working.
That's true.
Well, great. Well, thank you again. And I shall see you all soon. And thank you all for tuning in.